Okay, so we're here in Charleston, South Carolina. It's December 20th, and so that means that it is the anniversary of South Carolina's Declaration of Independence from the United States. The NAACP protest looks to be about maybe 6 people. Alright, and can you tell me where you're from?
Savannah.
From Savannah, and what are you doing? Holding a sign that says NAACP says Medicaid yes, secession no. See, do you consider secession a major issue today? So you just have your sign and that's all? Okay. Okay, would you mind if I ask you a question?
Let's explain everything.
Okay, you have one flyer?
Yeah, that'll tell you everything.
Alright, you wouldn't like to speak with me?
No, because right now, if we focus on this, the flyer speaks everything will be about.
Okay, alright. Thank you.
Appreciate it very much.
Tell me your name and where you're from?
Monk's Corner.
Okay, and why are you out here today?
Well, we are here simply because they're having a gala celebration for the 150th anniversary of the secession from the state of Union. And we're saying that we don't want to separate, we want to educate. That's why we're out here. We're protesting the whole format of what the concept of this program is all about.
Okay. Do you consider secession a major issue today?
Of course it is. I think it's going to be an issue for everyone. Until we come together as one and be one state, we're going to have a problem.
Not to offend you, but do you think that the name, the NAACP being for colored people, counteracts your message of unity?
No, the NAACP is for all people. It's not just for colored people. Mm-hmm. It's for people of color. And we represent education, housing, equal justice. Those are the things we fight for.
Okay. Here we have a small group of NAACP protesters and some press following them. Getting some love for some local people here. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 NAACP protesters, 2 white people from the press taking their picture. This is on the corner of Meeting and Calhoun. Here's a monument to the man in many ways who's the father of secession, John C. Calhoun. Certainly one of the greatest advocates for states' rights. For anyone who hasn't seen this monument, it's very impressive. It's right on Calhoun Street in downtown Charleston. On Calhoun Street, and I'm speaking with this gentleman. He said he was a veteran of the Navy, U.S. Navy.
Right, 1971, 1973.
And also a supporter of the NAACP.
Absolutely. I support Morris Dees. I support American Atheists. I support all civil rights groups. Because we have to be equal, not segregated.
And today, could you explain what you're doing here?
I'm calling for the impeachment of Senator McConnell and the impeachment of Speaker House Representative Bobby Harrell. They have been funding illegally with taxpayer dollars private businesses to glorify the Civil War, the rebellion that started here today, 150 years ago, with 100 and some odd people, all of them averaging 50 slaves each, wanting to continue to profit in the selling of human flesh and to keep the death sentence of plantations going. These were not typical slave owners. The typical slave owner only owned 1 or 2 field hands and worked side by side with them. These were the profiteers, the extremists who made thousands and thousands of dollars in selling human flesh, raping black women, and breeding them for sale. Breeding their offspring for sale.
And specifically, are you here to protest the Secession Gala?
The secessionist ordinance was a criminal act, and it was finalized here 150 years ago, December 20th, just down here on Median Street.
Yes, sir.
And the Galliard Auditorium is the scene for Senator McConnell, the featured speaker, to glorify this criminal act, which made every last rebellion person who took arms against the United States. There was no such thing as South Carolina becoming an independent nation. The South Carolina colony was actually founded on the principle of freedom. If you read it, it was written by a great freethinker, and he said that there shall be freedom of conscience for Jews, heretics, and heathens. And these are the words of inclusion, not the words of only white people can rule.
And just one more question. Do you believe in the concept of self-determination?
Yes, but it can't be extended into oppressing, if not killing and raping and enslaving others. Self-determination, of course, is exactly what individuals must be free to do, but it can't be used as a weapon against others. Self-determination simply means to affirm your own sovereignty, not to subvert the sovereignty of others.
Okay, well, thank you very much. And here is the site where the secession ball is going to happen tonight. Plenty of security around here, lots of cops. We have TV news over there. Okay, this is the AME Church on Calhoun Street, where the NAACP protesters went inside at the conclusion of their march around Calhoun Square. Just told that the NAACP people are going to come out of that church and they're going to march here, I believe around this square. And this small group of white people here apparently are NAACP supporters who didn't make the march. I just heard them saying that they wanted to join the NAACP march. Okay, there's a few more people gathering at the front of the Gilliard Municipal Auditorium. It's still far more policemen than protesters. I'm gathering that all these people here are anti-Southern Heritage protesters, but I'm not sure. The press have just gone inside, and I was asked by I believe the chief of police here to move over to this side of the park. So I believe the NAACP is about to come out of the church now. So they should be over here shortly. Okay, now the NAACP has a loudspeaker, and they've given out candles to the people. They have assembled here. They'll be lining up for some reason. Significantly more of them now than there was earlier.
No, I don't think there is that much.
No?
They've just all moved off the steps.
Okay, alright, some kind of march. And they're right here at the door where you go into the ball. You can see inside actually ball goers, they have to walk right in front of this. I'm surprised that they allow them to get so close to the door.
Slavery will always be wrong.
We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday.
This was supposed to be a candlelight vigil,
Yeah.
but their candles are battery powered. So I think their vigil is just as fake as their candlelight is.
They have signs that say it's not about heritage. Some of them have signs that say SC suffers from the Confederacy of something
Here
minded.
comes your friend.
Oh yeah. There's the Morris D supporter. Confederacy of the mind.
From the Confederacy of the mind.
I'm not sure what that means.
I think a confederacy of your mind would be pretty good. That means that all your synapses would be firing properly, wouldn't it?
I don't know. Good question. There's one with a sign that has the U.S. flag and the Confederate flag with the Confederate flag marked out.
Again, I look at this entire... Now you notice, here's the tactic that they always use.
Yeah.
See how they spread themselves out like this?
Yeah.
They do this on purpose to try to make their crowd seem larger.
Yeah.
But in reality, there's only about, I would say, 80 people here.
Yeah. Maybe 80. Maybe 100 at the most.
Yeah.
What percentage of them do you think is white?
We're looking at about 70, maybe 75% are white.
I think that many. It's a lot.
Maybe about 60%.
The protest is over, except for these three fellas there who just walked up late and scribbled on their sign. And what did y'all?
Note the nice, pretty ladies that are able to walk in here unmolested now.
Oh yeah. Now that the protesters are gone, it's a lot safer to be here. What did y'all think about this? To me, it seemed like a big fizzle.
Yeah.
All I've heard on the radio. Go ahead. Sorry.
I think the one thing that I can think of about the whole thing is a historic term. It's a flash in the pan.
Yeah.
And that's about all that it is. Al Sharpton, you disappointed me.
I never saw Al. Did you see him?
I did not see Al, but they announced big time that old Al was going to be here.
Yeah.
I actually wanted to go up and meet him.
I was looking forward to seeing the man live, but I never did get to see him.
Yeah, I guess we got Memorex instead of live.
I mean, with all the fuss and everything that I've heard on the news and on the radio, I mean, before I came down here, it was on the 5 o'clock news.
Yeah.
It was going to be a huge protest at the Secession Gala.
Less than 100 people.
We wanted to come and show our support for secession, say it was a heroic act that deserves to be honored, like the people inside are doing.
Right.
And, here we are, and, well...
Crickets
there's the protest. So,
yeah, there's three dudes, I guess. That's it.
Yeah, if you can see it on camera here, where the lighter colored strip of concrete right here is,
right.
From there back to that rail where that light is, was on this level was where all the protesters were loosely dispersed throughout there. There was probably, I would say, no more than about 85 people total.
Right.
And they all gathered right there. They all just started walking.
They passed out candles.
They passed out fake candles.
Right,
fake candles. The candlelight vigil was fake. They all just marched right out here.
Yeah.
And they walked right on out here to the road and then down the street, loosely dispersed. They put about a good 25 feet between each row of people.
Right.
And
they had their sign, the Campaign for Dignity.
Yeah, the Campaign for Dignity.
So I wanted to introduce
them. They stole
them.
that from the Campaign for Liberty.
Right, that's what I wanted to introduce him to.
I just wanted to come out here and maybe talk to some people and maybe, convert them over and talk about how that the right to self-government isn't a historical thing. It's a universal principle that applies to everybody of all times.
Yeah.
And, we think that national groups kind of infiltrate South Carolina and make things worse for us here in South Carolina, whereas if we were independent of national rule and if we were able to work locally with each other, there would be a lot better race relations between blacks and whites and everybody else in this state. The federal government drives a wedge between us, and that's really a sad thing. And unfortunately, we weren't able to talk to anybody, so it's kind of a loss.